What's up, y'all? My name is Jason Luttrell, and I wanted to introduce you to the Ashley Assistant. So welcome to my beautiful, well-designed spreadsheet. This is the prettiest version that we can get for now, but I just wanted to walk you through a couple different reasons why we built Ashley and how she's going to help you. So everybody knows that CRM sucks. Everybody hates it, but the cost of not using a CRM or something like it is extremely high. And so what happens is most people, they say like, oh, this is clumsy, or I don't know how to work it, or the people don't adopt it. There's a ton of data entry and it's not really an effective sales tool. And so what we suggest is that it is not being used right. And so what the part that sucks about CRM is the interface and the constantly having to put information in, take information out, and all this other stuff. But what we've done is that we found a way to implement a very powerful and effective CRM without you actually having to do stuff. Now, so let's find out how your customers find you and what you and their decision process. So typically what they're doing is if they're looking for very high performers, they're looking for doctors, lawyers, financial professionals, that kind of stuff. And they're looking for high value services. And a lot of times what they do is they look for on Google Maps. And so they'll find out a place. And so this place is actually kind of not really doing that great. But they have a couple of reviews and they're 5-star reviews. So sure, why not? Let's give them a call. The only problem is that they're closed right now. So what happens when we call them is typically nothing. And so we leave a message and we say, okay, we're in the market for trust and estate planning. But when people are thinking about this, they're typically thinking about something pretty specific. And while it is not probably actually urgent, it is urgent in their minds. And so what ends up happening is they move on immediately to the next thing on the Google map, and they find out what the next person is. And so they're going to keep going until they find somebody that they like. And that's typically a grab for the first person who picks up the phone. So they pick up the phone, they look on the maps, and then they call that person, and then, oh my God, nobody is home. And so what ends up happening is they get frustrated, and then they start looking through to the next and find the next person. And so that's what you're kind of up against. You're up against the people that appear to be open 24 hours, people that are answering the phone or at least getting back to them immediately with an immediate response. Now, this is extremely powerful, especially if, like the way I look at it, every time your phone rings, it's between an $8,000 and $10,000 opportunity, maybe even more, maybe even considerably more. And so what happens is if they're going to keep dialing, they're going to keep finding people, and they're going to keep looking until they find the person that is going to pick up the phone. So if we flip that script a little bit, what we want to do is we want to say that you're open 24 hours and you're 24/7 with the power of AI and automation. This is absolutely a reality. So what happens is they go back and they look for the first person that they see, probably inexplicably, typically closer to them. But if it's a geographically bound lawyer, like say a divorce attorney, for instance, then they're going to find somebody that's near them because they want to go to court near them and all that stuff. So they're going to call and they're going to get either an answering machine or a voice AI. But either way, they're always going to get a text back automatically. So Ashley's always going to text them back, and we can call this whatever we want, by the way. We can call this your name, because the thing that we found with most high performers is that they wish they had 10 of themselves. But even with 10 of you, you still have to spend time with the family. You still have to spend time in court or in surgery or on the golf course or with your family or whatever it is. And you can't always pick up the phone. And so Ashley is always going to return a missed call and immediately respond with any questions or answers that anybody has. And so when they, ultimately Ashley is also your research assistant. And so Ashley sends out the information based on the phone number or any information that we actually have on the caller, and we find out who that person is, and we'll send you this information right away. So this is a text message that you'll get right while you're on the phone. The interface for the entire Ashley system is stuff that you already use. It's not, you can log in if you want to. There is a mobile app and you can see a bunch of stuff on the back end, but you can operate the system efficiently with just the stuff that you already use. That's email and text messages. So here's a bit of research that Ashley's going to send you right away. And then we get to the point where they start asking buying questions. So they're like, do you handle this kind of case? Yes, I do. And then Ashley knows anything that we tell her. So anything that's knowable on your website, any of your SOPs, any of that stuff. And so when we ask buying questions like this, can I book an appointment? Ashley's like, sure. And so Ashley looks at your calendar and she says, these are the times that are available. Which one would you like? And then so the client says, sure, I'll take this one. Great. Okay. And then at this point, they're committed, whether, physically and emotionally, they're committed. And so they're probably going to stop looking at this point. But so Ashley will, being a good assistant, she will log this as a lead into your CRM. So if you want to log into your mobile app, then it's going to be all right there. And then she's going to send a confirmation. But she's also going to write a couple of different emails for you. She's going to say like, hey, here's a thing that you can write. Here's a call summary of what we talked about on the AI. And then she's going to install all that stuff in your information, and she's going to email you so you are aware of what's going on. So if it's an urgent call, you can actually call back right when you see it. So Ashley's going to confirm the message, and she's going to send an email. She's going to say, we'll see you at this place at this time. And then she'll plop it into your calendar to make sure that everybody knows where to show up and when. Then she'll even give people the opportunity to reschedule or cancel based on their thing. And so like they're going to reschedule or cancel if they want to. And that's all going to be based on your existing calendar availability. So you're never going to get double booked. She's going to check your calendar, make sure, just like Calendly does. So Ashley's also going to send some reminders. She wants to make sure that people show up. And she's going to say, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you in an hour. And then after the meeting's over, Ashley's going to ask you a couple simple questions. Like this is literally the same email that we send. And then you click one of these links and you tell what happened. So you tell Ashley what happened. So if they're not, so if it's no show, then we're going to send them an email saying, hey, sorry, we missed you. Here's a link to rebook. We look forward to talking to you. And then we remind them again and again until they do rebook. And then if it's not a good fit, then you hit that and then you're never going to hear from them again. They're not going to hear from you again either. If it's not right now, then you're going to slowly nurture them over a long period of time, and make sure that you remain top of mind, and that they understand that you are still thinking about them. All right. So this is just work that typically doesn't get done. If they're an active shopper, we compress the nurture timeline down to a day, or down to a couple of days. And so every day you're going to send them a text message saying, hey, if you haven't picked yet, here's a little piece of our track record. Here's, we're interested and excited to work with you. And so this is a slightly bit more urgency right here. Or if they're ready to go, then you send them your boilerplate proposal, and that's all sent automatically. So that means that the phone call went really well, and you want to send them a proposal right away. And that can be just your boilerplate proposal. That can have your boilerplate language in it, and any other information that you need signed from the client. And so we'll send that right away as well. So this is going to be a document from you, and then we just view this is an email to the client, and then then this is the e-signing experience. And this is like a sample legal proposal that you'll send to them. And then everybody signs. You get a verifiable e-signature document right here. Everybody gets a copy of it. And then immediately after signing, the client will get an invoice. And the invoice looks a little something like this. And then we'll give them plenty of options to pay. They can even finance it through Klarna or Affirm. That's completely up to you what you accept. It also accepts ACH, which is typically, in my experience, the preferred method. So these are all the different options that people can use to pay. And then if it doesn't work, then we remind them to try again, because who wants to do all that? So these are all the different contracts. So if you do want to look into the back end of your system, this is where all this stuff lives. You can edit all your documents. You can edit all your templates from your mobile app. And then we like to keep a little bit some analytics and some tracking, and just to kind of see what's going on. And we'll send you an email once a week so you can see what the call volume is, what the dispositions were, that kind of stuff. Just more analytics on text messaging and your appointments. That's a big KPI, is appointments. Are we booking a lot of appointments? Are we booking more appointments that we booked last week, etc.? Okay, so let's see here, a little bit more back-end stuff. I don't expect you to get this far. If you do have a bunch of phone calls, we do trigger. We do make sure that you're getting back to all of your clients. And so if you wanted to just block out a little bit of time every week, you hit this little green button and it starts to call all the people for you. So you don't have to dial any numbers or anything like that. It just blazes right through all your numbers. And then there's all kinds of different things that you can do with just individual contacts in the back end. But you really, like, the app is really the only thing you need to know. Even you don't really need to know that. Like, all you have to do is click that link once we set up the system for you, And then there's all kinds of different things that you can do with individual contacts, like you can book a meeting, you can charge them right here, you can send them invoices, and they can even tap to pay. So this is just part one of what Ashley does. Part two is the entire nurture sequence, like the client journey. And so all this stuff is additionally built in after they've signed the contract. So after they sign the contract, we'll send them an invoice, an intake survey, just so we can kind of get some baseline information. We'll have them book a strategy call based on the time that you're available, the time that you like to do these kind of calls. Then we'll later on down the road, we'll send a feedback request just to see how they enjoyed the service. Then we will send them a review request so that you can get your Google reviews posted nice and high. And then we'll ask for a testimonial, something that you can put on your website. And then we'll ask for referral reminders from now until the end of time, like every 90 days or so. We'll say, hey, is there anything else that you'd like? So this is just the kind of the tip of the spear. A lot of times, a lot of the stuff is like, I'm not even going to mention, but you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you see it, like including a client portal that houses all their documents and ways for them to reach out to you so that they can get the answers that they need without burdening your time. All right, so this is Ashley part one. I look forward to seeing you for Ashley part two. Bye.